How is everybody? I notice my hair be looking extra curly when it's dry. See? See that? When it's dry, it'll be extra kinky. So you know how people be like, well, all I do is put water in it. It's like when I wake up in the morning, my hair's like this, and I put it up in a bun. It's like more like kinks to it. But it needs to be moisturized still. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Cardi B and the Miss USA that won Sunday, I believe. Yeah, it was Sunday. So let's get Cardi B out the way. Cardi BS. So yesterday it was announced that Cardi B was nominated for a Best Female Rap Artist award at the BET Awards. And people are celebrating and saying, oh my God, Cardi B came a long way. Cardi B is amazing. How I am looking at it as she is not a rapper. She is a popcorn rapper. She is a novelty. She is someone that made it off of VH1 Love and Hip Hop. And she is basically Jocelyn or Mariah Lynn, except she has, I guess, a multi-million-dollar deal. That's what I think it is. She's basically, Jocelyn actually had a career. Like she actually has some clout in the hip hop community, only like she's underground. But she's basically like, I don't know, she's a love and hip hop artist that actually made it. And I'm kind of looking at it like, really? And my thing is, Cardi B is someone that just said, hey, I'm going to rap just for the heck of it. And for some reason, she made it this far. And I wouldn't be mad at Cardi B's success if it wasn't for the fact that she doesn't really deserve it to me. She is someone who is colorist, who has constantly slut-shamed women, but we can't slut-shame her. Oh no, like we can't hood shame her. We can't say all these things about her, but let her say something about other women and either we too sensitive or we can't take a joke or we need to get over it. Like she slut-shamed Amber Rose because apparently Amber Rose was hanging out with her boo thing or whoever, Quavo, Offset, one of the Migos. And we're like, how are you so pro-sex? All of this, you are anti-whorephobia, but then when it's convenient for you, you want to slut-shame women or be whorephobic towards other women you don't like or see as competition. Where do they do that at? So that's all I was saying on Twitter. Like, Cardi B is clearly only so liked because she is light-skinned. Because if she were a darker-skinned woman with such a crass attitude, and I'm not talking about her being sexually liberated or talking about hoes don't get cold. I am talking about just the way that she talks and her being rude and disrespectful. Because some of the stuff that she says is not funny to me. Some of the stuff comes off as bigoted. It comes off as misogynistic. She has said things that were homophobic, transphobic. She has said a T slur, which is directed at trans women. She made anti-Semitic comments before, and people just let it slide for some reason because she's hood, she's unapologetic, she's a New Yorker for sure. And I still remember when people try to justify Cardi B calling dark-skinned women burnt roaches because it was just a hood New York thing. And that's how New Yorkers roast. Well, if that's how you roast, then I don't want to fuck with y'all East Coasters because us Southerners, us Midwesterners, we don't tolerate that. You go up to someone and call us faggot or darkies or roaches, we will beat your ass. Like, it's different down here, the dark-skinned people, the queer people, like we will literally fight you just like anyone else. We ain't, I don't know what you call pussies or whatever, and I'm sure people down there aren't pussies or up there, whatever you call it. But I'm sure people up in New York aren't pussies either. But y'all are just making it like, hoodie is hoodie. Cardi is hood. I called her hoodie. That's what I'm going to start saying, hoodie B. Nah, but y'all are saying Cardi B is hood. She's from New York. Like, she's a real street bitch. And I feel like Cardi B is someone that is all talk, who will bully people who she thinks she can bully. But then when people are actually calling her out and really going in, she don't want to say nothing. Because I've added her so many times. She ain't said nothing to me. She ain't said nothing to the people who've actually added her and told her about herself. But then she wants to search her name and cuss people out that say things like, well, I like Cardi B, but this is how I feel. You know, she wants to attack them, especially women. But then when men disrespect her and call her a hoe, she tries to justify it like, well, I give good examples to young girls and say, you know, don't be a stripper. So I'm not the same girl I was before. Like, she tries to talk soft to the men that disrespect her because I feel she's a little girl that just wants approval. She's like Kanye West, who wants to complain about a system that they feel they cannot fit into because they want acceptance from that very system. She wants acceptance from patriarchy just like every other woman that has internalized misogyny. But I just said I don't think that she deserves the nomination just because, like, she really hasn't been out here long enough. You know, she hasn't been working out here long enough. Unlike what people say, oh, Cardi B works so hard and, you know, you're a hater. First of all, I have nothing to hate. And here's what I don't understand. How can you say I'm hating on someone because of the fact that they are light-skinned, but then try to drag me because I like other light-skinned people? You can't sit here and say I just hate on light-skinned people, but then make fun of the fact that, I don't know, I call myself Mariah Carey or I'm a Beyonce fan. You see, you ignore me when I talk about Drake, Rihanna, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Nicki Minaj all of the time. It's annoying when I'm a Beehive or if I'm a part of Lamberley. Yeah, that's annoying to you. But if I don't like a light-skinned person you like, oh, I'm a hater, you know, I'm divisive, blah, blah, blah. You know, I can't see successful black people win. One, Cardi B, she's not very talented to me. She sucks. You know, I heard her first mixtape, Gangsta Bitch Chronicles or whatever you call it. It was aight. It was just aight. You know, she had a few songs that I liked and I was playing it back and forth. But other than that, I was like, you know, she really can't rap. You know, she's kind of inexperienced. You know, I'm someone that can appreciate a song and appreciate, you know, someone's skills without acting like they the shit. And that's the problem. I wouldn't have a problem if people would just be honest and say Cardi B isn't much of a rapper, but she has some cool songs. But no, y'all act like, you know, she is Trina, she is Little Kim, like she's all these people and she does not have the experience. I'm happy to see Young M.A. on the list and she's high yellow too, given she's masked. But I don't have a problem with the fact that it's a light-skinned person. It's all about talent to me. And my thing, ooh, getting shaky. Ooh. I'm sorry, I've been feeling lightheaded. I think I'm having like, it's those margaritas I had the other day at that Mexican restaurant. I had some margaritas and this morning I had diarrhea like crazy. Excuse me for that. But I don't have a problem with light-skinned people, dark-skinned people, anyone being successful. I don't even have a problem with white people being successful. It's just the fact that if you aren't talented or if you aren't very good, but you are getting all this hype because of how you look or because of your skin color, I will say this because there are so many dark-skinned people who are on Cardi B's level or who are better who aren't getting the hype that she is getting. People feel that Cupcake was robbed. I feel Cash Doll was robbed because my thing is, why the fuck, like where the fuck is Cash Doll's mixtape? And I'm not talking about like, what do you call, like she's rapping over other people's beats or other songs. No, I want a Cash Doll mixtape. You know, where the fuck is that? Yeah, she got that song for everybody and, you know, she goes hard, but I'm not the biggest fan of it because she's like, you just a cum rag and, you know, don't be proud to be a side bitch, but I guess we should be proud to be a main bitch. You know, it's okay for men to cheat as long as, you know, people know their place. You know, I'm not the big fan of the message, but, you know, where the fuck is Cash Doll at? Cash Doll. No, I like Cash Doll, but some of the stuff that she says, I'm kind of like, but I'm gonna support my baby because she's pretty, you know, like I want to support more dark-skinned films and rap, you know, Cupcake, you know, she's part of LGBT. And I feel as if for Cardi B to have made it so far, for being out here for such, you know, for so little of a time, you know, I feel that it's clearly light skin privilege. It's the fact that she's mixed, she's not African American, she's black, but she is Dominican and Trini. So I feel like part of the appeal is that, you know, she's exotic to African American men. You know, she's an exotica and, you know, she's not like other black girls. So that's part of her appeal. And the fact of the matter is she's not very good. So there's no other reason why she should be this popular other than the fact that, one, she's Cardi B. And because she's an attractive light-skinned woman, I think she's attractive. Some people feel like she's ugly. I think she happens to be attractive. But I think it's the fact that she's an attractive light-skinned woman and she can get away with certain things that darker-skinned women cannot get away with. Cupcake is fat. Okay? She's a fat girl. Cash Doll is thin, but she's also dark skinned. And she's conventionally attractive. But again, even if you are conventionally attractive and dark skinned and you're hypersexual, people will make you out to be a hoe, and mammy archetypes will be projected onto you. Like the darker you are, the more hypersexual you are. You get more hypersexual tropes than if you were a lighter skinned woman. I feel like the majority of mammy tropes and hypersexual tropes go to those who are brown or dark skinned. And that's very unfortunate. But I just feel Cardi B does not deserve it. You know, one, she took a whole style from the ATL scene and some of it from the Chicago drill scene. And it's like, girl, you are from New York, but yeah, you got a Migos flow. And for some reason, they don't care that you bit off of their flow, but then they want to come at Drake or male rappers that do the same thing. Like, they once had a problem with Drake because apparently he stole their flow off of the Versace remix from 2013, and they try to act like they had a problem with the fact that Drake was more popular off of that. And I understand, but then for you to sit here and embrace Cardi B, like this East Coast woman, you know, who's biting off female rappers from the ATL scene that you could honestly support, but you like, it's all about a popularity contest. It's about, you know, some yellow bitch coming in and like she's dope. You know, I don't have a problem with her skin tone. It's just the fact that it's light skin privilege at play. You know, she said things that were disrespectful to dark skinned women. Like, she hasn't been the nicest person to other women as I've seen. So what else can I think? You know, we live in a society where if you are light skinned or white, you get ahead more than someone who is dark skinned, black, brown. And that's the truth. I feel the same way with Bruno Mars. I am sick of people hyping Bruno Mars because, sure, he can sing. He has some cool songs. But it's just that. He has some cool songs. They alright. But they ain't Anderson .Paak. They ain't Miguel. They ain't all of these talented black male artists, R&B artists. You know, we don't have someone that's like Beyonce. We don't have a male Beyonce, okay? And that's unfortunate because I would like to see more black men in R&B, dark-skinned black men in particular. I don't want to see no Chris Brown, okay? I want to see dark-skinned black men in R&B, but the only thing we have is Bruno Mars, and he isn't even black. He is someone that has a curly perm, that, you know, acts like he's an Afro-Latino and doesn't have a problem with people mistaking him for an Afro-Latino. But the man is a Pacific Islander. His mom or father is Jewish. They aren't black, to say the least. Like, they aren't black people. They are just very brown and they have curly hair. Maybe he has like 4% of African in him, like Adrienne Balone. But other than that, you know, Bruno Mars is not black. And I feel like the reason why he's getting so much airplay is because he has non-black privilege. He's not a black man, but people can pretend that he is, and they feel like he's safe. He's safe. And that's why a lot of people will play him over someone that is, you know, a visibly black, dark-skinned man. And that's very unfortunate because, you know, we need people like Anderson .Paak or Miguel on the radio. Miguel's not dark-skinned, but still, he's a black man. Back to the whole Miss USA thing, because I did mention that earlier. So Sunday, a woman named Cara Migola, or whatever her name is, won, and she is black, and she has natural hair, but it's 3B hair, so I really don't care because it's 3B long hair. If it's not like my hair, I don't give a fuck because people hate my hair. Like, no one gives a damn about my hair. But she won, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, a black woman won. Like, I don't really care because, you know, I mean, like, look at her. Like, I guess I should be happy, but like, you know, she's light skinned and like the hair. So it's kind of like, that's cool. But is this a win for me or other girls that may be darker skinned with 4C hair? Or is this a win for certain black girls? Yes, I know last year it was a dark skinned woman with, I think, maybe 4A, 4B hair that won. But I was just kind of like, it's cool. You know, like, she won. You know, like, that's cool. But I found out that she believes that healthcare, because that was one of her questions, she believes that healthcare is a privilege, not a right. You have to have jobs to get it. And if you don't have a job, then apparently you should be left to die. That's essentially what she said. And I guess that made her, I guess, credible enough to win. You know, like, that wasn't a very smart answer. I thought that was a very asshole of an answer, actually. And she's a Trump supporter. She is very conservative. But Black Girl Magic, y'all, you know, two natural hair women won 2 times in a row. So I guess, you know, we should celebrate. Not. Like, here's the thing. One, I already wasn't like, ooh, yoo-hoo, like, she has natural hair because, again, like, I don't care. Like, she has 3B hair. Like, she has the good hair, the type of hair that Black people will agree is good hair. Like, it's the acceptable type of afro textured hair. But something white people may look at like, what the fuck? Why her hair like that? Okay. But, like, I didn't care. And then, like, of course, like, she's light skinned. She's a little bit like on the side where you could ask, is she mixed or not? So I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, whenever I see that, it's like I see it so many times that I just don't care. It's like, okay, it's a Black woman, but a Black woman who clearly fits an acceptable, palatable gaze. Palatable or whatever you call it. Like, she's palatable to like white audiences. And she's safe. And she's a conservative. So why should I care? You know, it's like, it's not the fact that I have a problem with light-skinned people or any Black person being successful. It's like, you want me, a visibly Black girl, a brown Black girl, to be happy that someone who is more or less racially ambiguous with light skin and long 3B hair represents me. But she doesn't look like me. Like, you don't understand. We don't all look the same. And that's the problem. So many people think that all Black people look the same. We do not. We have different abilities. We have different privileges. Not all Black people look like cousins or brothers and sisters. And it's a shame. I was about to pick my nose. No, it's itchy down here. But it's a shame that people think that Black people are such a monolith, that if it's like a white passing or racially ambiguous Black person winning something in a historically white space, even the darkest person is supposed to be happy. We can't complain, oh, well, that's nice, but are you sure colorism didn't have anything to do with it? Just like at the Texas University pageant where this white passing girl, biracial girl, won the Miss Black pageant. And okay, like, she won. But people said, you know, out of all these visibly Black girls with dark skin and kinky hair, you know, it's just weird and suspect that she would be picked over them. You know, it's just weird, especially when we have joined white predominated spaces and we didn't win because, you know, we weren't experienced. You know, like, these girls have been trained for years and, you know, they're not ready for a Black girl. You know, we have to hear that all the time. But a white girl or a light-skinned girl can participate in a contest that has historically been for darker-skinned girls or primarily frequented by dark-skinned girls. And they win automatically just because they either get a sympathy vote because, you know, we need to make the white or light-skinned girl feel better that, you know, these darker-skinned girls are more talented than her. You know, we always want to make light-skinned or whiter girls feel better about they're lacking in something that other darker-skinned, less privileged girls are clearly more efficient at. And I just feel like, you know, it's just not a win for me to see constantly the same people being represented, because you're not telling me that all Black girls are going to be represented. You're telling me certain Black girls are going to be represented. You know, a dark-skinned girl with 4C hair and like dark skin and a wide nose isn't going to look at someone typically who looks like Vanessa Williams and think, yes, I can win because she's Black. You know, like, people think like she doesn't look like me. Like, yes, she's Black. Like, people can see. You know, y'all get mad at colorblind stuff that white people use, but you think we're all colorblind when it comes to different types of Black people. Like, we don't see the difference. Like, I can sit next to Zendaya, hey girl, and it's like we look different. You know, okay, she may look like a racially lighter skinned 3C version of me. Like, we both look Black, but I feel like we look a different type of Black, you know. Black comes in all shades. Black comes in all shapes and sizes and hair textures, eye color. There's not a problem with that, but I do wish that people would understand why darker skinned girls or brown skinned girls may have a concern when it's a certain type of Black woman getting represented. And like, the whole Miss USA thing is definitely not a win for me. Like, I'm not going to support someone who's a Trump supporter who believes that I should die because I don't have a job, you know. And I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I don't want to be rude and disrespectful to her, you know, because I don't think that's productive right now. But I don't think that what she said was smart. You know, I wouldn't be around her. Like, that's not someone I would have in my circle. So, okay. Oh, let me tell y'all this. If y'all don't like me, I'm sorry I had to change the subject real fast, but if y'all don't like me, don't follow